everyone, thanks for joining. Here with Jay, I want to introduce kind of the videos we're going to be doing. Of course, we're going to learn more about him, his background on this video, but going forward, we're definitely going to do a deeper dive into the company, things that are happening in the industry, other things in crypto, of course. And if you are watching, we'd love to include some of your questions or anything else into some of these videos as we go forward. But first things first, Jay, how are you?
I'm doing awesome. I'm based out of Vancouver. How about you?
Yeah, I'm in Toronto. Unfortunately, we have a bunch of snow. I know Vancouver's had a pretty good winter so far.
So far, it's getting a bit cold now. We should hit like -10 tonight, but that's like
Oh, wow.
for the first time this winter. So
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm jealous you guys get to see mountains and ocean and whatever else. So, awesome. I guess going into it, I'd like to start with where you kind of went to school. If maybe you want to start there, and then we'll go into first couple jobs, career, and we'll just go down that path.
well, I guess we should start from my heritage. So
Sure.
South Korean. So my parents immigrated here to Canada when I was just 6 months old. So it was just I was one, so just before one, and we settled in the Toronto area, just out of Toronto, Ajax, Pickering, and then when I was about 4 years old, we moved over here to Vancouver, and so from four till right now, I'm just 40 years old. So a big chunk of my life here on the West Coast, all of my life, and high school, I went to Centennial out of I guess Coquitlam. It's a suburb of Vancouver, and was up at SFU. And so the funny story there. I guess I was going to school and I was trying to apply for business. So that's the only thing that I've ever really wanted to do is study business. And so for for that year, I guess it's super competitive always, but it was like a 3.85 to, I guess, to apply and be accepted into the business faculty. And I wasn't a horrible student, but I think I had like a 3.35 or 3.4, and it was just I applied for 2 years and I wasn't going to get in. So essentially, they told me I was too stupid to study business. And I took, so the last year and a half of my, I guess, university days, I said, okay, I'm not gonna, I tried econ, and econ is just not for me. Most of the prerequisites are the same. And I just said, I'm just gonna take every elective that I want. So I took like drama, I took like percussion, I took Spanish. So hablo español, and I took recording arts, and so I just treated it as like, let's learn. And to this day, I don't regret that, because a lot of those skills I use till today. And basically, I didn't graduate with any degree. I fulfilled my 4 years, and I just started my entrepreneurial journey after that.
Okay. Interesting. So, hey, that being said, went to business school myself. Do they really teach you real business? Not too much. It's nice being able to, of course, learn some of the other stuff. So exciting. Then you come out of school, you're like, great. I touched a bunch of different areas, and now walk me through the beginning parts of your entrepreneurial journey, I guess.
Well, being an immigrant, and growing up in an immigrant family, my parents started a bakery. So from elementary school all the way through university, I worked in the family business. So what that meant is every morning, wake up at 6:30, put in a couple hours before school, whether I was in elementary, junior high, high school, university. And after school, I had duties at the store. Every weekend, I would put in full time. Every holidays, I would put full time. So a lot of kids would kind of like the weekend, or they like summer holidays or winter break. But for me, I dreaded it, because that meant I had to be in the family business, the bakery, all day long, full time. And Kind of funny story, and I don't know, it kind of relates to, I guess, entrepreneurship. But um, like on Saturday, the only thing growing up as a kid that I wanted to do is watch Saturday morning cartoons. And maybe the kids these days or the younger generations just don't understand that with like cartoons on demand. But I guess when I was a kid, the programming was scheduled, so I couldn't watch any Saturday morning cartoons. And so basically that taught me like and the work ethic that I needed to succeed, but it also gave me this great hunger in like, yeah, work hard, but then really really get other things, and just I can't just leverage my time. So I don't want to do this at such a young age. I put in so many hours. I joke and say by the time I graduated university, I probably put in more hours than most people in their 30s and 40, like getting to the 40s. I put in, I actually saved money going into university. And also I had money to spend, and I didn't have any debt. So I guess that's kind of my background. That's where I come from. And that's not everybody's story, but that's my story. And so I really didn't have a job. I just worked in the family business.
Yeah. No, so interesting. So, hey, bakery is interesting, of course. Now, so
Yep.
walk me through. You always had this kind of entrepreneurial focus, and talk to me through I guess the business you found, or whatever it is shortly after. I guess you're working at the bakery. I mean, give me the next step.
Well, I mean, after university, basically I said I'm not gonna be taking a job at a desk or at a bank. I had a few offers, so I said, Dad, what does a family business have to offer? And so that's where I put my, like, from age 20 to probably 32, 33, uh, 12, 13 years of my life, I just poured into, learning the foundations of running a business, of management, leadership, communications, and all that. And so at the age of 33, I just told my dad, we had four operations, and we had about 50 team members, and we're probably number like 9 or 8 biggest bakery operations in BC. But I said, Dad, I don't want to be number 8 or 9 biggest bakery in BC. I want to be number one at something. And so that's when we started the healthy snacks. So we actually sold all our machines. We shut down a factory and said we're going to succeed in a different category. So 6 years ago, we started a healthy snacks company called Inno Foods, and currently it's the biggest. I guess it's the biggest organic snack foods company in the world. We employ 600 people, and we ship globally out of Vancouver, and we're the only private company to be in every single region in Costco in the world. So that's our. I mean, that's in a nutshell. That's what.
Incredible. So walk me through. Tell me why you picked maybe even healthy snacks. Was it just you saw this as a trend? Like, walk me through the guy doing it. How did you convince your dad?
Well, my dad wasn't, so he wasn't very hard because we had the same, like, the age, obviously the age difference. I was in my early 30s, and he was approaching 60. So basically we're different stages of our life, but um he knew that I needed to challenge. And so the idea came from my dad. He was in a fast food show in San Francisco and New York one year, and he was walking the show, and then he came back and said, Jay, basically everything is coconut. So everything, we have to make something with coconut. And so just find where you can buy some, and start making products with it. And so that's what we did. We stumbled across coconut, and we started to develop products with coconut. And we had a confectionery background. So I mean, we always made cookies and granola and breads and rolls. So we're like, okay, let's use coconut as a base, add some seeds and some sweeteners and some salt, and let's make a snack. So that's when the coconut cluster was born, and we pitched it to Costco, and they liked it. We thought it wouldn't do as well as it did, but it just really took off. We're the original creators of the coconut cluster, and now, I mean, 5 years running, we're continually selling. Now we have multiple SKUs, and we've expanded, and we have different factories and whatnot. But I guess that's kind of how we kind of stumbled into it all.
Yeah. So interesting. So tell me, you're doing snacking food, and we can talk, and I'm sure in future videos, people have questions. We can talk about the process to get into Costco and all that. Not easy. So
Mm.
congratulations. But now talk to me. So where does crypto exchange come into, healthy food? Walk me through the,
Yeah.
like, give me the next stage of, of your entrepreneurial life here.
Well, the thing is, I'm really curious. Like, a lot of people think that you're like, for example, you're in the food business. And they're like, what are you doing in the crypto business? But not many people know that. But I'm in like 20 different businesses. It's just like I'm that type of entrepreneur. Not just because I don't have a hobby. Like, my hobby is like, oh, I
Build
have an
something.
interest. I have an interest. Let me see if the interest could pay for itself, and I marry it with entrepreneurship and see if I can generate profit or revenue, or compete in the marketplace. And so, I just have a great interest in things, and I don't like all things, but I stumbled across crypto about 4 years ago. My friend's, I guess, notebook got hacked, and it was held hostage, and they said, give us like, I don't know, 10 Bitcoin, whatever it
10
is.
Bitcoin to this address and we'll give you your whatever back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then he told me this story, and he said this has happened a couple years ago, and I said, really? And like, what did you do? He's like, I bought the Bitcoin, and I was gonna send it, and I said, screw it, they can keep my computer, and he kept the Bitcoin. And then he told me I bought it for like $200, but like now each coin is worth like 3,000. I'm like, what the hell is this? And so I started to talk with him, and he, it piqued my interest, and we figured out that you could actually mine the stuff. So we made a small mining operation, and after that, we plug it in, we start mining, we accumulate coins, and we're like, what else do we do? So at that point, a bunch of buddies, we got together and said, let's try to build an exchange.
Crazy. Wow. So really, like, it's funny, a lot of people can probably relate with some of the path, at least like how they hear about it. And then, whether I remember how famous a lot of those, scams or whatever you want to call were, which is
Sure.
pretty funny. And then, of course, oh, like, how can we mine it? And, I've seen people building miners in milk crates, trying to, build whatever. So incredible. So now, okay, well, let's try and set up a crypto exchange. Did you, there's a lot of exchanges out there. I'm curious, did you look at, some of the other exchanges and you're just like, we can make a better one? And, to the question, and I guess it makes sense to ask now, what's different about, your exchange compared to some of the, really hundreds that are out there?
Yeah, well, like I told you at the beginning, I'm South Korean, and so are the co-founders. And 3 years ago, like, what basically what Upbit did, and the Korean exchanges did with the kimchi kind of premium on Bitcoin, it was just nuts. And we just looked at that, and we're like, these guys are killing it. And so we're like, we have to open up, we have to do this. And so, did we have any experience? None. Basically, what happened is one of the co-founders went down to CES in Las Vegas, and his job was to scout any new business opportunities that we could start on. And he came back with a bunch of, and what really interests me is I wasn't interested in most of the stuff, but he came back with a business card that said Bill Shahara of Bitrix. And we're like, okay, let's book a lunch meeting with him. And actually, he took a lunch meeting, and we drove down there, the three of us, and we pitched him our pitch. And basically, at the end of it, I said, we will build what you want, you audit it, and if you like what you see, issue us a term sheet. And so, and basically on that promise, 6 months later, we kind of showed him what we had. His team reviewed it, and we got the term sheet. And so we got to partner with Bitrix. Why they chose us, I have no clue, because he told us that day there's like 50 people lined up to do business with us in Canada. So like why they actually chose us, maybe he chose us because we drove down there and had lunch with him. I have no clue, but we're in the unique position that we are today. I actually have a conference call in about 30 minutes set up with the management team to go over some businesses that we have, business opportunities that we have, and it's really exciting.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Wow, what a story. Incredible. And I'm sure a lot of people watching will have some questions, so we could definitely go through a few on another video. But talk to me now, really my last question for you, what goes into it as kind of the CEO now of this emerging crypto exchange? Walk me through kind of what's the day-to-day, week-to-week like.
Well, the thing is, a lot of people put a lot of what do you call it? They have a lot of awe, and they have a lot of fear. Not necessarily bad fear of the financial industries, but they just say, "Well, you guys are dealing with people's money, and
Security
guys,
stuff, yeah.
securities, and you have to be so careful, and cyber securities and hacks and scams and all this." And I said, yeah, I understand. Understand the responsibilities on my shoulder, but you have to understand, I come from the food industry where compliance is so much higher, where the risk is so much higher, because people actually trust my products to put in their mouth, to chew and to swallow, and they trust that it's not only tastes good, but it's not gonna kill them, right? And so the actual compliance that I have to go through to run a global food company is like, I'd say 20 times harder than anything in the financial industry. So and I'm serious, like in terms of documentation, in terms of all the programs that we have in place, and the audits that we have in place, and the staff small army that we have to employ just to upkeep all this stuff on a 24-hour basis. So yeah, I know what the risks are. I know that I have a lot of responsibility. So it, I'm just applying who I am. I'm just applying my skill set to a different industry. And basically, I build a great product, the best quality, features that people want. Let them try it, let them get excited about it, and let's build a platform that other people can leverage. So that's what the positioning that that I have, the vision for this company, and that's where we're going. And currently, we're the best exchange that nobody knows about in Canada, and we're flying under the radar. But yeah, I think in a month or two we should be ready to make a big splash, and then everybody will know.
Awesome. Well, hey, that's a great way to leave it off. Fantastic. What a story. And it's funny we can talk about the comparables. As a manager of coming across industries, you see it now all the time. Elon Musk wasn't a wasn't a car guy until hey, Tesla becomes the biggest car manufacturer on the planet. So an incredible story. Jay, thanks for joining. This was great, and I think we're gonna do some fun videos going forward. So I look forward to them.
Well, I enjoyed it too. Thank you so much for your time.
Perfect.